Welcome back. Imagine being good at just about everything you do. A nearly perfect grade point average, an all-state volleyball player, and as a 17-year-old, you're an accomplished baker also. Oh, and Division I schools are recruiting you too. That is Gabby Orlet. At age 14, her life started to change though. With the help of photographer and editor Randy Schwenker, we go inside her courageous story. There's really no reason for it to happen. There's no reason at all for a 17-year-old girl to have to endure it. Perhaps Gabby Orlet has seen too much of what life can throw at you at too young of an age.
Every day I think about it. I'll wake up and every time I feel a little pain, I get nervous.
The mass was about the size of a tennis ball and it was wrapped around her spine.
It's a Wednesday night at Freeburg High School. The clock is ticking towards the start of the match. It's time for Gabby to focus. Her Althoff Crusaders will be tested, and Gabby came ready to play. How about a no-look tap trick shot winner, or the over-the-head letter-perfect set, or the push to the back-end point?
She is so competitive in the most positive, constructive way.
The exuberance, the zeal. Do you think Gabby Orlet kind of likes playing volleyball?
The intensity of the sport and how quick it moves, and you kind of have to have a mental game that's tougher than even sometimes in your physical game, and that part of it really kind of intrigued me. And working together as a team and working with all those girls, it's really fun. It creates a great atmosphere.
The intensity was passed down from Mom Lisa, an assistant coach now, who won 6 state titles as a player and a head coach. And then your goal with volleyball is what?
Definitely to play in college at a high level.
The Orlets' world started to change in April of 2021.
And I got a call saying, "Are you coming?" And I said, "Sure." And she said, "Well, she just landed. She went up for a hit in warm-ups and landed, and she can't breathe."
I think I usually have a pretty high pain tolerance, and from then on I knew that this was way too much pain, that there's something else has to be wrong.
They had said she had a fracture, and they sent us home and told us to talk to a neurologist.
3 days later, an ambulance had to take Gabby, who could not walk, to the hospital, and the diagnosis had changed.
But that she has a mass. I didn't think I'd do that. So I called. He said, "You're going to want to get your husband here." So
we sit in that room, and they explain everything to us, and Gabby's just laying there, and tears coming down, and it was devastating.
Things just went quiet. I completely was numb through the whole experience. I couldn't even tell you what he was saying after he gave me the diagnosis of what was happening and what their plan was.
Gabby had a cancerous tumor on her spine that disintegrated 75% of her vertebrae. The surgery got all of it. A 1 in 10 million chance it would come back. And then,
on one of the screens, they saw a shadow on her lung, and then they went back, and it had grown
and spread to the lungs. So Gabby began her chemotherapy treatment. 22 rounds now, 3 to 4 hours a session. But it's working. Dr. Amy Armstrong is a pediatric oncologist at Children's Hospital.
Our goal is to keep all the disease she has in her lung from progressing or growing. It's already shrunk down the size of her disease that she has there, which is great. But I know that if we stop it, there's a very high risk that she has of things growing and becoming problematic for her. So she'll continue it with us, and then she'll eventually transition over to our adult team over at Siteman, probably in her mid-20s, to continue as she moves through life.
The scan on the left is an old scan. The one on the right is after chemo. Notice a difference in the large white spots.
So you see this here, so you're not really seeing that anymore.
7 months after Gabby's second diagnosis, her father Jimmy was told he had colorectal cancer.
Yeah, I just remember being really scared and overwhelmed,
So there they were, Gabby and Jimmy getting their chemotherapy treatments together.
We're both laying there with masks on, and I'm hooked up to this thing, and she's kind of sleeping. It was just, too much, but it's the way it goes.
The difference is Jim is now cancer-free, and he was back working at his coffee shop in Belleville called The Abbey. Gabby, on the other hand, has been hurtling her body all over the court and performing like one of the best volleyball players in the region.
I just love competing. You know, I hate to lose, and I love nothing more than to win.
And keep in mind, these matches where she's winning, they're often on the day of or day after that chemo has been pumped in her body for hours. And oh, by the way, she's doing it all with a rod in her body that stretches over 5 vertebrae.
Her whole identity was wrapped up in being an athlete. And even her doctor didn't understand that, because some of the stuff he would say to her that, you know, you're not going to be as good, you're not going to, and I was like, you can't tell her this.
The cancer's not stopping this girl from living her life. She has dances to attend and serves the smash. Do you know in your stomach right now you're going to beat it?
I do. I've had days where I wonder, and I, wonder if, how powerful this is and can I do this forever? But I've come a long way, and I think I've hopefully gotten through the worst parts of it. And I'm still here, and I'm still fighting, and I'm still doing the things I love. So I have really no excuse to not beat it.
We're going to go back so we don't get too far.
And how on earth could you bet against her? The girl who at one time struggled to even walk after surgery is now doing what she does best and loving what she loves most. And the chemo won't be slowing down the schedule. This winter, she'll be playing club soccer 2 nights a week and another 3 nights a week of volleyball. And she'll be traveling to tournaments too. Cancer has never met a foe like Gabby. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.